All right, team, midweek update time, and we are tightening yesterday's card with the same correlation core, but a few role-driven pivots and clear reasons why each pick stays or moves. Quarterbacks first. No change at the top. We are staying on Sam Darnold against New England, who have a tough defense overall. Salary 16,200, dash rank 100, projected 18 with 15 fantasy points per game, and recent 30, 9, and 9. Ownership is still near 0%, so we capture maximum leverage on a quarterback whose ceiling game just showed, and his deep ball aggression plays perfectly with our Seattle stacks. The Vikings let him walk headline, and the comeback coverage out of Essentially Sports points to Seattle, empowering him to push it downfield, which is exactly the thesis we are buying. We are also keeping Drake May as the direct pivot against Seattle, who have a tough defense overall, salary the 16,500, dash rank 99, projected 21 with 22 fantasy points per game, and recent 16, 17, and 19. Ownership remains near zero, so he anchors balanced builds, or acts as the run-back in our Seattle stacks, with a higher median than Darnold reports that New England are looking to bolster his receiving core, reinforce the long view. But for this slate, the projection and consistency keep him firmly in our pool. Running backs, no change to our Seattle core. We are keeping Kenneth Walker III against New England, who have a tough defense overall. Salary 14,700, dash rank 82, projected 16 with 12 fantasy points per game, and recent 21, 39, and 17. Ownership sits around 0%, and we still want his spike week profile inside Seattle stacks. The free agency rumor coverage and the Seahawks GM pushing back underline league-wide respect for his explosiveness, which is the volatility we want in tournaments. We are updating yesterday's New England spot and pivoting to Tre'Veyon Henderson against Seattle, who have a tough defense overall. Salary 5,700, dash rank 79, projected 12 with 13 fantasy points per game, and recent 1, 3, and 5 ownership near zero, and the why is salary efficiency and correlation. This move frees Cap to double stack Darnold with Seattle receivers while still giving us a live run back who can catch up in neutral scripts. Essentially, Sports highlighted Henderson's explosive rookie campaign with 968 rushing yards and 9 touchdowns, which supports ceiling outcomes despite the modest recent box scores. Wide receivers. Our alpha stays locked. We are staying on Jackson Smith and Jigba against New England, who have a tough defense overall. Salary 11,600, dash rank 100, projected 27 with 23 fantasy points per game, and recent 34, 11, and 14. Ownership is still near zero, giving us elite leverage on the slate centerpiece. Recent headlines calling him a Super Bowl winning wideout, pushing for a record-setting deal. Echo the confidence and target gravity that fuel his ceiling. We are changing our secondary Seattle receiver, moving off yesterday's dart and onto Cooper Kupp against New England, who have a tough defense overall. Salary 7,800, dash rank 91, projected 9 with 7 fantasy points per game, and recent 14, 11, and 5 ownership near zero, and the why is stack fit and price. Kupp gives us a veteran chain mover and red zone complement to Jackson, while keeping salary in check for premium correlations, coverage around his homecoming to Washington State and the Lombardi run with Seattle, plus his forward-looking comments signal continued involvement, which we want attached to Darnold tight ends. We are rotating our bringback. We are moving off A.J. Barner and consolidating on Hunter Henry against Seattle, who have a tough defense overall salary, 10,500, dash rank 93, projected 10 with 11 fantasy points per game, and recent 3, 2, and 15 ownership near zero. And the why is red zone leverage and correlation with Maye. Sportsline highlighting him in their tight end prop discussion this week. Supports matchup viability, making Henry our preferred Patriots pass catcher in bringbacks, and May doubles. If you need a pure punt to unlock studs, we will keep Austin Hooper in the pool against Seattle, who have a tough defense overall. Salary 3,000, dash rank 71, projected 3 with 4 fantasy points per game, and recent 0, 2, and 0 ownership near 0. And the Y is salary relief in large fields with occasional package usage. The recent Pro Bowl pedigree features remind us the talent is there, even if the role is thin. Kickers, no change. We are sticking with Jason Myers against New England, who have a tough defense overall. Salary 8,100, dash rank 60. Projected 11 with recent 7, 11, and 8, ownership near 0. And a tough opponent increases drive stalling, which boosts field goal attempts. The headlines about his 5 Super Bowl field goals and near MVP nod capture the ceiling we want in leverage builds. We are also keeping Andy Borregales against Seattle, who have a tough defense overall. Salary 7,500, dash rank 57, projected 9 with recent 4, 4, and 10. An ownership near 0 coverage of his rookie season efficiency, including 126 points, at an 86.7% success rate gives us confidence if the Patriots settle for kicks. Defense and special teams, no change. We are staying with the Patriots defense at 6,000, dash rank 58, projected 6 with recent 12, 7, and 5, and ownership near 0. We will embrace Darnold's ceiling in some builds, but that same volatility creates sack and turnover paths we can capture with New England in others. Flex and values. A few quick notes. If you are not double stacking running backs, we still love Jackson Smith and Jigba in the flex to maximize exposure to his dash rank 127-point projection at near 0% ownership. The Seahawks team flex at 4,400 with a dash rank of 53, and a 5-point projection remains a viable punt that lets you afford premium stacks while keeping the game environment correlated against an opponent who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall. For May stacks, we are adding Mac Hollins against Seattle, who have a tough defense overall salary 5,400, dash rank 73, projected 8 with 8 fantasy points per game, and recent 7, 14, and 8 ownership near 0, and the Y is downfield leverage at salary, the incentive bonus note, and his recent 78-yard outing show how he can get there on limited targets. Stacking plan. We are maintaining Seattle stacks built around Darnold to Jackson Smith, Njigba, with Cooper Kupp as the preferred double, adding Kenneth Walker or Jason Myers where appropriate run backs are, Drake May for premium projection, or Hunter Henry for touchdown equity, with Treveon Henderson and Mac Hollins as salary savers. Lock the correlation, lean into the low ownership on our Seattle core, and keep exposure discipline to the highest dash ranks and projections while the news cycle continues to validate our roles and ceiling paths.